So Libra, your December monthly forecast brings sharply into focus the role of Saturn and Neptune in the part of your chart to do with your physical vitality, your work situation, life routines, but also the general demands and obligations you've been encountering over the last 2 years, in particular with Saturn's journey through that part of your chart. And as you come into this month, it's true, there is a sparkling alliance of Venus, your ruler, Mars, the planet of thrust and allure, but also the Sun, in the part of your chart to do with being chatty, interactive, sociable, perfect for the festivities. They're also going to be joined on the 11th by Mercury moving back into your third house, which is an echo of its rulership of the sign of Gemini. Very quick-witted, playful, mischievous and fun. What's not to like? Well, it's just that the full moon, which occurs on the 4th, is in a part of your chart to do with bigger ideas, your connection to others and travel plans. And of course, at this time of the year, many of us are moving around, seeing different people, taking in some winter sun or perhaps some winter snow. But I feel because of the role of the North Node, particularly on the full moon, and then as the days go by, Saturn and Neptune are in a very awkward right angle with Mars. So however much you may want to be a bit freer and playful, those obligations, those responsibilities could still be dragging you down a little bit, and your physical vitality may be affected by that, to be honest. But it could also create a degree of frustration, particularly for someone who has been very supportive and helpful of other people, particularly at work. You know, if you've gone the extra mile to support colleagues to cover shifts when perhaps they've had something that they've wanted to go to that's more social, or whether there's been illness, and you've been a really good team player, if that's not rewarded as you come into the early parts of this month, I think it can create a sense of disillusionment and also frustration as well as irritation. You thrive on balance, of course. You like things to be fair, and if it's not quid pro quo, doesn't have to be an exact exchange, it's more an exchange of energy rather than particular favours. But if you feel there's more give than get, I feel this month at times can be draining. Now we are going to see Mercury emerge from its post-retrograde shadow on the 17th, followed by the new moon in Sagittarius on the 20th. So if you are wanting to dart off somewhere, that's encouraging, right? New moons, we can set our intentions, everything's going to be hunky-dory. While this one, like Mars before it, is challenged by the limiting energies of Saturn and the draining energies of Neptune. So I would say if you are wanting to do things a bit more spontaneously, free-spiritedly, very Sagittarius, have some connections and meetups with people, I wouldn't try to pack too much into your diary. I think it's important throughout this month to really prioritise the occasions, the events or the people that you want to give your time to, because I don't feel you're going to have oodles of energy. But what you are going to get on the 15th is Mars moves into your 4th house. Now Mars loves being in Capricorn, and if there's something you want to change to your home life, it may be actually where you live. It could be renovating an existing accommodation. It may even come from a desire to redecorate, extend, refit certain elements of your situation. As you come into the last phase of this month, some of the thinking or conversations you have with loved ones, friends, when you're meeting up, you could find yourself thinking a lot more about your inner world, your closest connections. You may, if you do attend any parties, you may want to go to places that are very familiar to you. You may also want to spend time with people that you feel very safe and comfortable with. Not perhaps the most glamorous or exuberant people in your circle, more the solid citizens that you just feel really at ease with. And Mars is going to give you a push in that direction. But if you have thoughts of working from home on your own enterprise, 2026 can really sparkle for you with the thrust that Mars is going to bring, and the planning can start to shape up in the last phase of this month, not least from the 21st, when we have the winter solstice and the Sun plays catch up with Mars moving into Capricorn. But just as that's happening, Venus, your ruler itself, is challenged by Saturn and Neptune. And again, this could throw up a situation maybe around your finances, maybe around a closer personal relationship, where if you feel that you have been given a lot to people, but it's not acknowledged verbally, you're not necessarily feeling heard or seen, that's something that can really stick in your craw. But the move of the Sun is also going to make you much more aware of setting your boundaries. And then on the 24th, Venus plays catch up. If you do decide to spend time with people in the latter part of this month, I think it wouldn't be a surprise if it was in your own home, so you played host. Because the familiarity and comfort that fourth house energy wants is something that you're going to have a much greater appreciation for this year in particular. And as you wind down this year, Libra, do know that next year can be very, very exciting, particularly for your social situation, perhaps even for your romantic situation as well. But with Saturn and Neptune moving from that sector of responsibility and back into your sector of relationship, if there are certain people in your world who you feel have been taking you somewhat for granted, there's going to be a big shakeout even in the first 6 weeks of this new year. And I feel some people are going to be really surprised that if there isn't that respect and appreciation for you showing up this month, the pushback from you may not be immediate. You may use a degree of subtlety, you may use a degree of charm, but I feel a much firmer part of your nature will be much clearer to be seen by the middle of February. And if there are people who are more fair weather in terms of friendships, or there are colleagues who are perhaps just leaning on you without really respecting what you do, I think you're going to be much more assertive as you come into this new year, and it's going to be a very good thing for you indeed. If you've yet to watch your year 2026 deep dive forecast, please see the link below this video. If you've yet to order your personal forecast for year 2026, you can do so now. You'll also get your life roadmap report, which helps you to understand the patterns that are played out in your life so far. The combination of the two will help you to plan your moves in the months ahead so much more effectively. 30% off, free gift of your general, love, Chinese and Indian written forecast for each of the 12 signs. Please see the link below for more.